Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate. A Kenyan national has been remanded in custody after she was allegedly caught in possession of illicit drugs. Authorities at Nandi Airport allegedly discovered more than 2 kilograms of amphetamine last Thursday. Christopher Chand with the details.
Pamela Ankini and Gira appeared in the Nandi Magistrates Court today, charged with importing illicit drugs and being in possession with amphetamine. The Kenyan national has requested legal assistance and only signed disclosure papers after Magistrate Tusara Rajasinghe stood down the case to allow her to read through the document. Angira arrived in the country on August 24th. This is when immigration officials put her in a detention center awaiting deportation because she apparently didn't have a return ticket. Some 6 days later, she was taken back to the airport for her flight back home. That's when officers allegedly found the 2 kgs of amphetamines in her possession. State lawyer Levi Savo objected to bail, asking that she be remanded in custody. Angira will appear again in court on September 14th. No plea has been taken. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
The Methodist Church says it's not yet ready to support the SDL submission for Fiji to be declared a Christian state. The church wants the Songo Vatani Leweni Vanua party to explain what it means by a Christian state. Roland Koroy reports.
Although the Methodist Church hasn't thrown its full support behind the SDL submission for a Christian state, it definitely wants certain elements of Christianity in the governance of Fiji.
Well, the church, of course, is a Christian church. But we need to think again on what it means in a situation like ours. Fiji is, in a very different situation right now. It's multi-religious, but of course our proposal will be on Christian element of the governance of the government should be there.
However, Reverend Nawandra agrees many in Fiji won't agree with the church's views.
We need to see that if the word Christian state is a struggle for some to maintain, so we will try other ways but of course, being a Christian church, our hope is to have a state that is, if not Christian, be a religious one.
The church, which is yet to make its submission, also says it will be raising its concerns on some of the government's non-negotiable terms. The SDL party could not be reached for a comment on the church's reluctance to throw its full support for the party's submission.
However, if the history between the church and the SDL is any indication, then a compromise for the two to agree to Fiji becoming a Christian state may soon be on the cards. Roland Koroy, FBC News.
The recent disagreement that has split the Fiji Labour Party seems to be having a contagious effect on Fiji's oldest party, the National Federation Party. Some weeks ago, NFP announced it would make a constitution submission in consultation with the SDL, FLP and the UPP. But this shotgun wedding seems to be over, with the NFP now saying they have no partnerships with any political party. This despite a joint submission to the Pacific Islands Forum a few days ago, where all 4 parties call for consultations on the possibility of retaining communal seats. Former minister in the Bavandra government and long-serving NFP member Ahmad Bamji says word of NFP have relations with rival political parties have angered their supporters in the Northern Division. Devnarayan has more.
Speaking from New Zealand, Bamji says senior members and even the working group of the NFP should have been consulted before deciding to make a joint submission with rival political parties to the Pacific Island Forum leaders meeting a few days ago.
This is one time on an issue of such an importance and bearing on the country and the party. My personal feeling is, my personal view is that he should have contacted, consulted the people around him, and and definitely the working committee before he should have gone ahead. That is.
However, party leader Raman Pratap Singh maintains the working committee was consulted on the issue.
To say that the president or the leadership acted on their own. As I agreed, the leadership has to make decisions, but on a major issue like this, working with other parties, we did seek the mandate it was given to us.
Bamji has downplayed the obvious disagreement, claiming there is no rift in NFP, adding supporters still believe NFP is independent and should survive on its own.
Like I said earlier, right? I mean, there is no disagreement. There is no none of that thing. I think what has happened is because nothing has been happening so far. Our people have been confined to our own areas, and the NFP executive has not moved out. I was just lucky enough to be there. Let me tell you that I was not visiting people. I was, on a trip to do scholarships on behalf of the internet.
NFP says members should consult them rather than going to the media.
I think it's a sad thing that he didn't contact us directly. As you say, he's a resident of New Zealand. I don't think he's a resident of Fiji. The day-to-day events are not known to him. He's got probably he was here for a visit, as you say, for a scholarship. But he would not be in touch with the people here. And as you know, we have made a decision. We have to explain to our people. People who have explained are happy with it.
But the obvious question today is, why did NFP talk about partnerships with rival political parties on August 16th?
Cooperation is very much part and parcel of democratic processes and constitutional process, and that's exactly what we are doing.
And yesterday it was a contradicting statement, with the party saying it will be acting in an independent manner. Perhaps it's in the General Secretary's philosophy that explains the sudden changes.
In politics there are no permanent friends and no permanent enemies.
And it is exactly this sort of inconsistency that has got party veterans like Ahmad Bamji and his supporters confused about the direction Fiji's oldest political party is heading in. Dev Narayan, FBC News.